Intermittent fasting, or IF, works wonders for some people and just doesn't seem to work for others, often leaving people wondering what if they're doing something wrong. I know I found myself in that situation when I first started intermittent fasting.
This isn't working!
If you struggle to lose weight with intermittent fasting, stick around and learn why. And you might be surprised that it's really not as complicated as you might think. I'm Emily, I'm a kinesiologist and physical health and education teacher, and today I'll be breaking down why intermittent fasting works for some people and not for others. And if you struggle to lose weight with intermittent fasting or are hoping to start an intermittent fasting diet the right way, then you're in the right place.
One of them, gym membership.
You want me to lose weight?
I don't want you to lose weight.
No, we can't.
Celebrities across the globe like the Kardashians, Beyonce, Chris Hemsworth, Terry Crews, and so many others have publicly praised intermittent fasting as an amazing diet that has helped them lose weight and keep it off. The reality is that intermittent fasting is a great diet because it works when done right. In this video, I'm talking about the most common form of intermittent fasting, which is the 16-8 diet, in which you fast for 16 hours each day and you eat during an 8-hour window.
I really want to lose 3 pounds.
Oh my god, what are you talking about?
You're so skinny.
On the surface, the 16-8 intermittent fasting diet is pretty easy. You don't eat for 16 hours, then you have an 8-hour window where you're allowed to eat. Because technically that's the only rule. But when you dig a bit deeper, you found out that for results, there are actually a few more rules.
Oh, wow, you are definitely not afraid of desserts.
At the end of the day, the most important thing to remember about weight loss is that it's directly linked to being in a caloric deficit. Shortening your eating window each day should theoretically lead to less calories consumed. Less time eating should lead to less calories consumed, right? Well, not always. I've seen people start an intermittent fasting diet and consume just as many calories as they did before starting the diet. Instead of reducing the caloric intake, they are maintaining their caloric intake in less time. As you may have expected, they don't see any results. When I first started my intermittent fasting diet, I wasn't watching what I was eating at all. I wasn't eating breakfast or having a late night snack anymore, but I was overeating during my eating window, leaving me consuming just as many calories as when I wasn't fasting at all.
It burns carbs. It just burns up all your carbs.
At first, I was led to believe that intermittent fasting was this magical diet that automatically led to weight loss if you fast for 16 hours daily. I should have known when it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Intermittent fasting is an amazing diet because it shortens your daily eating window, making it much easier to be in a caloric deficit.
Right, I'm gonna give it a ho, hey, ho. And I'm gonna stop worrying about calories.
It also prevents you from eating late night snacks, which are usually unhealthy and simply not needed. If you find yourself not losing weight with intermittent fasting, then take a step back and consider what you're eating and how many calories you're consuming daily. What worked for me was writing down the food I was eating in an app, which I'll link in the description below. Using this app, I was quickly able to see that I was overeating, which I hadn't really realized before. Another reason that intermittent fasting is linked to weight loss is that after fasting for 12 hours, your body runs out of glucose, which comes from the food we eat and is used to fuel our bodies and give us energy. So after 12 hours, the body starts to burn the stored fat as fuel to give us energy. So in other words, our body starts to burn fat for energy while we're at rest, meaning that our bodies are actually burning fat naturally without even having to do any exercise or do anything at all. But a common mistake that's often made with the 16-8 intermittent fasting diet is that people are not fasting for as long as they think they are. This can happen for a few reasons. First, someone may simply not be tracking their eating times and are actually only fasting for 12 to 14 hours instead of the 16 hours they think they are. Second, the most common is that some people actually consume calories without even thinking about it or realizing it. If, for example, you have a coffee with milk or sugar in the morning, then you broke your fast without even realizing it. So if you have a glass of juice or milk in the evening, then you broke your fast as well. Being conscious of the calories you consume is super important to make sure that you're actually consistently fasting the amount of time you actually think you are. So now you may be wondering, how can you monitor your caloric intake during intermittent fasting for optimal weight loss? So here are my best 3 tips. Number 1 is to count calories using an app such as the Lose It app. The Lose It app allows you to track exactly what you're eating, and it will calculate the amount of calories for you. This way, you'll be able to see exactly what you're consuming daily, and it'll help you make decisions on your eating to improve the effectiveness of intermittent fasting. At first, counting calories with an app may feel difficult and boring, but trust me, it gets easier with practice. Number 2 is intuitive eating. I realize that not everybody actually wants to count calories, and that's totally understandable. If you don't see yourself as someone who can count calories, then I suggest practicing intuitive eating. With intuitive eating, you see the food you eat as fuel, and you see your hunger as a gas gauge ranging from 1 to 10. When you're at a 1, you are very hungry, and when you're at a 10, you're completely full. So with intuitive eating, you want to try and eat when you're around a 3 and stop eating when you reach a 7 or an 8. You never want to get to a point of being completely full. This way, you're listening to your body. Number 3 is consuming primarily whole foods over processed and sugary foods. So consuming high quality foods will leave you feeling fuller for longer and will reduce the chances that you will be hungry faster. An example I love to give is that if you eat 1,000 calories of McDonald's and I eat 1,000 calories of whole foods, you are going to be hungry and feel the need to eat before me. I really hope you enjoyed this video and these tips. If you did, please hit that subscribe button. It will really mean a lot to me, and don't forget to like as well.